Okay guys, here we are back at Shadow Hobbies, and guess what I just got in today? I got the new HPI Venture. Yeah, finally. After about 2 years, we finally got one in. So, you know how I feel about boxes. We're not going to get into the box. But what we are going to get to in the box, that is on the box, is about the vehicle. It's got a breakover angle of 44.5 degrees. What's that mean? Well, that means the distance between the two wheels, okay, the maximum angle or point that can go under there is 44.5 degrees. It's got an approach angle of 61.5 degrees, okay? Approach angle is where the bumper is or in relationship to the front of the tire, all right? Departure angle, just the opposite. It's whatever could interfere from the back edge of the rear wheel to whatever might be mounted, whether it be the body or in this case it's on its rear tire. And a maximum climbing angle of 49 degrees, that would be uphill before it would flip over backwards. And a tilt angle, which would be to the left or to the right, of 28 degrees. Ground clearance, 32 millimeters or 1.26 inches. So the length of the vehicle about 20 inches, width about 9 inches, track width 7.5, blah 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 blah. It's about a 5.3 pounds in weight. So the rest of it we're going to stop reading. We're going to get into this box here. As you can see, I haven't broken it open yet. And I'm going to find something to open it, as again, I'm never prepared, but you know that about me. So, I got something to break the seal, and let's see what's in the box. I'm still trying to figure out this GoPro, so the focus may be out. So we have a nickel metal battery, obviously, HPI. No point in showing you a battery. There is a charger in here. There are spare parts, looks like some body mounts, some clips, and some other little odds and ends. Nothing spectacular. HPI standard remote. I think this is probably a TF40. Yes, it is TF40. It's not a bad remote. Sometimes you get a good one, sometimes you don't get a good one. Sometimes they're good for a block, sometimes they're good for half a block. It depends. Kind of potluck. All right, the car is not strapped in. It actually looks like it may have torn out the straps on shipping, but oh well. Again, boxes. You know how I am about boxes. All righty, so far feeling the tires. They feel nice and sticky. Let's pull the body pins off and see what we got. I like the design of the body. It's pretty slick. Nice color. We'll pull this plastic off here. It's stuck. I must be missing something. Well, I'll be dipped. Is that a flip up? So the body is attached to where the rear tire is, and it goes right through. Yeah, oh, I see. So there's a little pin here. You got to pull this little pin, flip this out, and now the body comes off. All right, so let's take a slick look at the body. FJ Cruiser on back toy. It's a licensed body, so all of you are paying for that licensing. Probably 10 or 20 bucks extra. So, I mean, it's nice to get a pretty body that looks like the real thing, but it costs the industry and costs all of us money. So, I don't know if that's such a great idea. But the body itself is really nice. Let's see if I can get a close-up there for you guys. The detail on it. Pretty good. Pretty nice. The underneath is just the underneath. So, all right, so much for the body. All right, now, so this is how this swung out to get the body off. You had to just pull a pin and swing this out, which is, it's pretty slick. And it's a, looks like to be a real tire. Yep, this is a real spare tire on here, if you can see that. Pretty cool. All right, it's got wheel caps on the wheels. I'm assuming that these just twist off. Yep, they do. They just spin right off. Nice. 1.9s. These are 1.9s, right? I can't see. Yeah, they look like 1.9s to me. Let's just go over some things that jump out at me. Alright, so there's some detail under here where they have the axle clamps to where the, what do you call it, tie rods are. In the race car business, we call them tie rods. So, I don't know about the crawling RC business. But most of you guys know I came from the race car business, so. Anyway, it feels like we got some angularity here. Not as much as I'd like or like to feel. But it doesn't feel too bad. Let's see if we can give it some kind of a can test here. Right, we all have these, right? Everybody's got one of these in their shop. And, all right, so I just put your typical shock oil, excuse me, I've been sick all week. Shock oil bottle underneath the left rear. And the right rear is just almost not touching the ground. I gotta say this touching. So whatever the length of this is, which is probably, see if I got a ruler here. Of course not. Yep, I got one. 3 3/4 inches tall. So I put this under the left rear, and we still got a tire just barely touching the ground over here. Let's try the front. So the left rear, when I pick up the left front, left rear when I pick up the left front is just barely touching. So the angularity is not too bad. So they did an okay job with that. And I'm sure by adjusting the shocks a little bit, that may change a little bit. And I'm just looking at how the springs are on here. I can't tell if that's a shock. Yeah, it's just a standard shock nut. Just spins up and down. So they do have adjustable shock nuts on an aluminum body. This is a motor forward and transmission setup. So if you guys can get a good look at that, all right, try to give you a really good look here. All the weight's up forward, which all of us now are really loading up the front of our vehicles, aren't we? So you can get an undershot of that. I hope it's light enough. I didn't know these were coming in today, so I wasn't really ready to do a review. And I got some tie straps around here, but that didn't deter anything. These are slider shafts. The drive shafts are sliders. It doesn't look like they left a whole lot of room. You can see there's no crush left on this one here. So if the suspension moves, you can actually see that. I think that's binding if you look at that. That could be an issue here. There's not enough slip crush on this, and it's bottoming out. So what I would say, if you get one of these trucks, just take the shafts apart and cut this plastic back about 1/4 inch. I'm sure it'll give you more than enough slip yoke on there, and you'll be fine. You got adjustable rear bumpers, which I don't know about you guys. On my crawler, I usually almost take the bumpers off because that clearance angle that we were talking about before, that's on our box here, becomes an issue when you're crawling up and down stuff. You know what I mean? So you really don't want to have stuff sticking out far in the front or in the back when you're crawling. For you guys that are newbies, you can see the adjustments on here. So I would have this all the way in, and then here I would push this all the way in as far as I could get it if you want to keep your bumpers on. The battery is rear mounted, I guess, and obviously, but I'm surprised they didn't try to forward mount that a little bit more, because you don't need a whole bunch of weight in the back, because gravity as you're crawling does that job for you. So it shouldn't, it's not really necessary to have the weight back there, but I guess it could be a good thing too. The transmission is obviously, it's a single speed. It's a tiny little sucker, if you guys can see that. I hope you can. I'm sorry about the light again. It looks pretty simple. There's probably only about 3-4 gears in there, I'd imagine. Obviously, it's got a nickel metal battery in it with a nickel metal speed control. And it does look to be, it's waterproof. It says it right on it. And it is adjustable for lipo or nickel metal. You can see here, I don't know if it's 2 or 3S rated. It's definitely 2S rated. And the steering servo, I got to imagine they would make waterproof. But, you know, and let's see what kind of servo we got here. What's the rating? A 20. So it's a 20-gram servo. So that's about 20 gram is like around 180, I think, torque-wise. 160, 180, somewhere around there. So not a bad vehicle overall. So I don't remember the price of it. I haven't even looked at the slip. Like I said, it just came in, so I figured I'd get this loaded up and shoot it out to you guys. There is a little bit of metal on it. These clamps here are metal. They're not plastic. I can feel that they're metal. So these the torsion arm mounts are aluminum, it appears to be. And this is all plastic here. Oh no, shit. Hey, this is metal. I just gave it the tooth test. So the pumpkin caps are actually metal on here. That's pretty neat. I could feel that they're colder than the plastic, so that's a neat deal. And